this plant in Mahindra, this was a very small plant. It's also being closed, because there's no point having two plants close to each other unless the capacity mandates. And of course, we found a new plant where we are expanding the capacity. It has more space and it has got likely which suits our flow of production also.
And what will be the size of the workforce based on this plant?
You have to be local to service that installed base. Because there's not a lot of advantage in this product in terms of labor cost, because a lot of the process is automated. And so where we see the differentiator is really logistical costs. Is getting the product, because the weight and magnitude of that heat transfer surface is massive. These components are massive, and so transporting that material is quite expensive. So we like to be as close to the customer, and also speed. I mean, these plants have to be reliable. If they have an emergency, you've got to produce something quickly. So we want to be very responsive to customers. So we have factories in all of our major markets.
And you mentioned that you had significant orders coming in 2017. Can you put a number to it?
Yeah, sure. So we have orders overall in India of around 250 CR.
Which?
250.
What book in hand, right?
Sorry?
What book in hand?
Our book in this year, she asked me. So
Yeah,
this
as on date.
as on date, yes. And particularly on this product, we have 150 CR.
Advanced.
Sorry, I mentioned that renewables and we both contribute towards emission control.
Yeah.
You talk about technology. Is it do you need to customize for the Indian market, or just to bring it and apply here? How is that? The same coal-fired solution can be applied here also. I know norms are different, but do you have to do any kind of customization or anything here?
There's in the coal industry, there's customization for every plant, let alone for every market. It's a function of the coal they're burning. It's a function of the climate that they exist in. A variety of factors. The only thing I would say relative to India is the coals generally burned in India are low sulfur, high ash coals, and those factors influence some of the design considerations that we make. But I will also tell you, there are pockets in the world where you have similar types of high ash, low sulfur content coals. So we know how to deal with them all,
The factory installed, we will now be using this as a platform to secure orders from the customers who have approached us, and it can start, next year.
It can start immediately. I mean, the issue today is we've received orders that we've placed with the factories that were available at that time. We have to get this factory qualified for some of those export markets, but I don't see that being an issue. So, I mean, that is underway already. It's a matter of just developing the opportunities and starting.
Which other countries you are looking at?
All of the Southeast Asian countries, everything, Malaysia, Indonesia are two in particular. We see Australia as certainly an opportunity. The Philippines less so, but we also see potentially South Africa as being another area where there's a major number of coal-fired plants that have air heaters that we see as an opportunity because of the logistics of the Chennai factory and the low cost that we can drive out of this factory.
Are you already in discussion?
And building belongs to, we have leased this factory. It has been made to suit to our requirements. And I can tell you it's less than $10 million.
Could you provide?
In terms of ADVEX, we can't because we don't have an ADVEX system deployed.
So for any of the projects you've done, the kind of savings you are able to bring in to the owners or the plant?
Well, I'll paint a scenario which would be potentially typical. Let's talk about, say, a 2% boiler efficiency improvement. On a typical 600 megawatt power plant, that would equate to, I don't know Indian fuel costs as well as I might know in other places, but in the U.S., a 2% boiler efficiency improvement is going to generate for that individual plant in the millions of dollars in terms of fuel savings. Just 1 to 2%. I mean, you're talking significant types of numbers. So in India, you can probably factor that down, but it's potentially significant.
On this, the biggest customer is NTPC, and then of course BHEL is our customer. Doosan is our customer. They are the key players, out here in the Indian market. In terms of IPP, Adani is there, Hindalco is there. So most of the people, or most of the units which belong to the state utility in some of the key states, for example, Karnataka. We have done a small business with Tamil Nadu also. We have done business with Andhra Pradesh. We have done business with Maharashtra. We have done business with Madhya Pradesh. So not all the states, because we also see which states are financially viable and they are able to pay us, relatively on time. And because DISCOMs, as you know, their financial strength is still at a question mark, and they are still stabilizing. But I think in terms of the largest customer, NTPC, we have supplied quite a bit. Most of their power plants, we have supplied.
How do you generally participate in this? You are part of a consortium, like boiler supplier, or you go on your own. How do you enter normally in a power plant project?
Yeah, so for a new equipment, a new power project which is coming in, NTPC or other state utilities, they come up with specs. And interestingly, spec says LJUNSTROM or equivalent. So even there we are recognized as the pioneer player. So once we are an approved player, then of course, we are approached by the front-end bidding companies, which could be boiler companies or EPC companies. And they ask us and we participate, and that's how we win the orders, of course, through the open market competition channels. And in case of aftermarket, NTPC qualifies, the state city boards, they qualify, or IPPs, they qualify, and they ask us, and we participate in the tenders or the quotations, we submit them.
Okay.
Any
On
particular?
the new equipment side, we generally are bidding to boiler companies.
Companies, but
Yeah, on the aftermarket, we're dealing directly with the utilities, but with new power plants, you're working with boiler companies.
so you're working with all the boiler companies, BHEL and other players are also active in this.
BHEL, Doosan, yes.
Those, yeah.
Any particular